to the northeast. Let me show you what it looks like here with the radar imagery. Again, those storms moving northeastward. The rotation here just to the east of Morrison Bluff with that storm. It should be continuing to track across the area. Let's see if I can go forward and back on this, maybe get a fresh update of what's happening here. We've also got another storm I'm watching in Logan County too. This one's also a storm that has that potential for some rotation here just west of Boonville and Paris. So that's another one to keep an eye on out around Cawthron and Driggs. As far as the images go, velocity on this, the wind speeds aren't terribly strong on this one, but there's some rotation with this one too, just west of Driggs. This one was in the same place that we had earlier. So we'll watch that storm here and then also watch the storm that's moving through Clarksville and in central Johnson County, where we also have that tornado warning now. That's going to be the just south of Clarksville, making its way towards the northeast, out around Morrison Bluff, Clarksville, and Knoxville. That radar image looks like it's just a little laggy. I think the other one was a little bit better. In fact, I'm going to walk off camera here and see if we can get that one up here for you in just a second. Looks like, yeah, that's fine. Let me go over to this real quick. And yeah, so you've got it right over Knoxville, Lamar, and Clarksville. That's going to be tracking northeast. You've also got little circulation, it looks like, down towards the Subiaco area. Get this flipped over here. There we go. So you have that one moving to the northeast. I'll go ahead and play this out for you. In Clarksville, the storm is basically right over you. In fact, I'm going to head to the wall here. If you want, Michelle, you can move it around here in just a second and we can take another look at it. But this was the cell. It was actually the same one from earlier that was rotating. Right now, it kind of looks like it's inbound dominant. It doesn't really have the outbound winds as much as it did earlier. Yeah, right there over Clarksville though. So between Clarksville and Dover is where this is located. And again, this is moving east-northeast. So for those of you in Clarksville, it's time to take your tornado precautions like everybody else. Get away from the windows and just be aware that this thing could develop a tornado at any time. Although the rotation isn't nearly as strong as it was earlier. It would be right in here between Knoxville and Clarksville where that strongest rotation is. And again, that's tracking northeast, eventually towards Dover and the Hagerville area. You can see the movement of that storm is northeastward. I think it's more of a wind damage threat, even though they do have that tornado warning on it. It looks like it's more wind damage than anything else with that storm as compared to where it was earlier. But I can draw on here for you real quick and show you where the storm's rotating. Again, here's Clarksville and Knoxville, so we're generally seeing it right there. That's where you're looking at the strongest rotation, mostly towards the east side of town, really kind of splitting the difference there between Clarksville and Knoxville. Scranton, no issue there for us, but this rotation is going to be passing towards the north and may very well put down a quick tornado out of this. It doesn't look like it's as intense as some of the ones from earlier, but often it won't take a whole lot before things start getting crazy real quick. Here's another look at it, a loop of images here as it moves through, and see if we can stop the radar here and take another look at what's going on. Again, inside the storm here, seeing it lift to the north. That was where they first issued it out around Morrison Bluff. It looks like this radar is just a touch laggy this evening. So the last frame was just shy of 11. Back to velocity images here real quick. Let's check it out. We're on velocity, reflectivity. There we go. Or not. Yeah, there it is. So that line of storms is going to be moving west to east. Let's see. And look at velocity. Just checking out Morrison Bluff here from earlier. See the last frame where you had blues or greens and reds. And then if you look a little closer there, it's interesting. Let's loop this and see how this looks real quick. Just looking for tornado debris in the storm here. Doesn't seem to want to play out. No, that's all right. Go back to reflectivity on it. And there we go. So we do have that warning that's in effect for us in Johnson County. I'll clear this off and just go back to Gibson Ridge here. It's going to look a little bit better. In fact, I'm going to walk over next to you, Michelle, and talk about this. It seems like our radar is a little laggy from the storms. So that rotation is going to be out over Lamar and Clarksville, moving to the east-northeast. So it would be right in here, over more towards Lamar than Clarksville. And some of the roads that are going to be affected by it look like Hickeytown Road and Quarry Street, and then back to the north along Duff Road. that's passing over Lamar. That's probably where the strongest rotation is, and also some of the strongest winds are going to be right over Lamar. Looking at the tornado debris, doesn't look like there's any that it's embedded within the storm, so there's some good news there. Hail-wise, we may have some small hail. There's also some hail around Subiaco too, and there's another pocket of rotation that's down in that area. That's going to be moving north. That one actually looks a lot nastier, doesn't it? Right there. So that's going to be one to watch too as it continues to track to the north and towards the northeast. It's going to be moving into eastern Johnson County and eventually Pope County. So hopefully we can get it out of our area sooner than later. Looking out across the region though, yeah, Weather Service is looking at that too. Yeah, a nice little hook echo on this. This is what they're watching in Subiaco. Watch what happens though when you go to velocity. There's not much there, but if you tilt it up, there's actually not much there either. So that's definitely going to be a storm to watch, but thankfully it doesn't look like it's going to be as intense as what moved through a bit earlier. Going back to this, yeah, this doesn't look like it's really that wrapped up at all. It would be right here over Lamar though, so if we were to get a quick tornado, it'd be on Johnsonville Street or perhaps even Cumberland Street, and then to the north, Cherry Grove Road around Lamar. So it basically just crossed over the river bottoms and is going to be moving to the northeast. So we'll see this around the eastern side of the county here shortly, and it'll be exiting Pope County here before you know it. I'll go ahead and go back to the wall here, and we'll see if it's updating a little bit more for us. This tornado warning is going to go for Johnson County. It also goes for Pope County too, but really the strongest one's in Johnson County, so it's going to be this cell here that's the worst. And then looking at it a little bit closer here, we'll zoom in towards this guy. Maybe. I may have broke the radar. I think I did. We can go ahead and go back to analyst. They'll lock it up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not working. Yeah, it's not working over here either.
Let's see if we can get it going. And we're not. Let's see if that's any better. That looks a little better. Still think it's a touch behind though. Go ahead and go back to analyst. If you want, you can just click around on that and we'll take a look at it here. Hopefully it'll exit sooner than later for us. So it looks like Clarksville is going to be in the clear here shortly, if not already. There is that one near Scranton and Subiaco that we still need to keep an eye on. But this was the cell that prompted the tornado warning earlier. That's moving to the northeast. It looks like it just passed over Lamar, which is here, and then it's going to be moving northeast out towards the eastern part of the county, and then eventually into Pope County. So hopefully sooner than later it'll be moving on out, and then it should clear parts of eastern Johnson County here shortly. As far as the wind speeds go, you can go back over to velocity real quick, and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, it's just not much. The dark blue indicates some stronger winds gusting here, but it just doesn't look like we've got all that much going on in the way of wind damage or tornadoes. Well, tornadoes, there still could be wind damage with this, but the tornado threat seems to have passed east of Clarksville now, and we'll continue moving north and northeast. If we did get a tornado, it would be right. Siri's trying to talk to me. Lovely, huh? That's the first time that's happened. Not sure I understand. Me neither. All right. So you're looking at it here just east of Clarksville and north of Knoxville. That's going to be moving northeast, so it should cross over that line here shortly. And then the one near Subiaco, if you go back to reflectivity, it actually looks pretty nasty on radar. It just doesn't have anything in it. You can see a nice hook echo on it. There's some heavy rain in Scranton out towards Subiaco, some heavy showers moving through this area. They're training over the same area though, so you're probably going to have an axis of extremely heavy rain stretching from Subiaco up through the Hagerville area and north of Knoxville. So that's where this one's headed. It should be exiting here shortly, which will be good news for us in Johnson County. There's another loop of images here. You can see it as it's tracking to the north. We'll watch the one back down to the south because that one to the south might do something here with time, but hopefully the atmosphere gets a little bit turned over with that first one that moves on through. Go ahead and zoom out and we can see what else is going on. We don't have a whole lot of other severe cells moving in. Hey, there's our front. It's finally cleared I-44, so it's out towards Tulsa. You can see these north winds, these little wind barbs out of the north here. So you've got north winds here, you have south winds ahead of it, and right in the middle is where you get the thunderstorms. Now the good news is the front's making some pretty good progress here. Matter of fact, it's going to get into northwest Arkansas sooner than later. It should be clear in northwest Arkansas pretty quick, and then hopefully move on out to the River Valley later on this evening. I think by 2, most of these storms should be clear. Unfortunately, we probably will end up with some flash flooding out of this too as we head into the overnight. We're going to watch the storm that's in Johnson County. If it starts to flare up with any more rotation, we'll be back on the air to let you know about it. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and go back to programming. Just wanted to break in and let you know that we are still watching that rotation, and we do have that cold front moving in. So here shortly, hopefully things get back to normal as we head into the overnight. Another 2 or 3 hours, things should be all over with as that front moves through the area. So keep it here on 5 News, and we'll